Yeah, they had us the first half, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, could be Wayne!
I think I got my swagger back. Oh!
I love it, baby!
Them orange britches. Something about them orange britches.
Tennessee wins! By Tennessee to one Jennings. Jennings makes the catch.
Ball hit high in the air into right field. Going back is Sayre. And Tennessee can say hello, win column. A grand slam in the bottom of the ninth. You can't draw it up any better.
We just won a basketball game, and we're very happy right now.
I made up my mind. I don't expect to ever look back. I'm going to stay at the University of Tennessee.
Reddit did to do, and welcome into More Important Issues. It is Thursday. No, Wednesday. I've got to fix the graphic. As soon as I said it, I was like, that's wrong. It is Wednesday, May 11th. Shout out Vol Baseball. We're moving the show for them. This is a Vol Baseball podcast, as everyone knows. I was already fired up for this episode. After last weekend, little stumble. I know it's baseball. It's a long season. We talked about it on Sunday. You guys talked about it on the bat flip. You still don't want to lose, but it comes with it. Good news is, and I think Tony Vitello kind of said this after losing to Tennessee Tech, they don't have to sit on it long. They got to, get at Bellarmine on Tuesday night. They get another SEC series starting on Thursday. So not a lot of time to sleep on it. Not a lot of time to, worry about it or think about it. You just get to go play baseball. So that is kind of the beauty of it. Those losses don't have to last too long, and they did get back to their winning ways on Tuesday night. Good outing by several guys. Blake Burke. But yeah, so it's nice in that sense that they get to go do that. And then also we got Jorel Ortega on. Joey from Tampa. Joey bombs, Joey doubles, whatever you want to call it.
Joey bag of donuts.
Joey bag of doubles. That's what we'll call it.
I can't wait to bring it up. I can't believe Mose and him doesn't have an NIL deal like that.
Yeah, we may need to
absurd.
Forge that relationship a little bit. Yeah. Try to get that moving. But I'm excited to get him on. Excited to talk a little fall baseball with him. Guy that's had a great year. And hopefully that continues this week. SEC Player of the Week. Not this week, but you get it. We'll let that roll over as much as he wants to.
It rains.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a fun show. We're going to talk some NIL stuff, of course, with the NCAA being the NCAA, and we'll get into all of that. And then also talk a little conference scheduling. The ACC, we've been preaching this for a while, how the SEC needs to get a better scheduling, get a better schedule for scheduling. You only get to go to A&M every 12 years, but every West team besides Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Only get to go to LSU every 12 years, play them every 6 years. It's just not a good schedule. And then you're adding 2 more teams. So talk a little bit about kind of how the leagues in FBS and Power 5 could look in the next couple of years, with ACC maybe being the trailblazers.
Yeah, I think that would be cool to get to, when a kid gets there, he plays there 4 years. He should get to play every conference opponent at least once.
100%. Agreed. But before we get into all of that, though, we are going to start with the Pups from Athens. They come to town. They just got knocked out of the top 25, right?
I think they're still ranked in some of them, not ranked. I look at D1 baseball. They're not ranked in D1 baseball anymore. They dropped out of that one. Tennessee's still number 1 in that one, so I'm going to go off it. Maybe it doesn't look like the if you win that series, it doesn't look as good. But hey, I like that number 1 by our name. It just fits. Number 1 Tennessee.
Absolutely. It right off the tongue, man. Just right, it feels right.
Tennessee Volunteers.
Absolutely.
Or fighting Tony Vitello's, whatever you want to call it.
Fighting Tony Vitello's. You do, like I said, you welcome Georgia in for a home series that starts tomorrow night. That's why we're coming at you guys a day early. Shout out to you guys for coming in and listening a day early. Shout out to Jorel, who will be on about 8:30. I'm telling you that so you can come back if you do leave, because I know listening to mine and Landon's voice isn't as much fun as listening to to Jorel's, but please stay for the whole thing. But he will be back. He will be in here about 8:30. So if you need to go grab a bite to eat, if you need to go to the bathroom and you like scrolling through TikTok while you're in the bathroom, by all means, do what you got to do. Yeah, settle in. Exactly. We are going to preview that Georgia series though. With I do
want to mention one thing before I forget. Sean Burrows, appreciate y'all getting that together. He's the associate director at Tennessee, so he kind of put all this together where we could get current players on. So congrats to him. Him and his wife had a baby girl. Yeah. So,
has he been a dad? I said that like I knew this is his first.
He's outnumbered. I know that. He's definitely outnumbered. So good for him. Congrats, and really appreciate you taking the time to, even when your wife's kind of on the verge of having a baby, he was still emailing us back, getting us going. So really appreciate that. And Zerk and Max helped out as well to get this thing kind of finalized. So
shout out to the whole baseball program. They've been great to us. Love them. Great dudes. And women involved over there. So we really appreciate it. And we're excited to be back in Lindsey Nelson. Landon will be there all weekend. If I'm working on maybe a ticket for Friday, looks like my best availability. What I would love to do, though, I was thinking about this today, is tailgate a game. And Saturday is really your only option.
Saturday is your only option.
So I may have to shell out for a Saturday game. But if anybody want to sell me a ticket at a reasonable price, hey, I'll lose my voice. So you don't have to listen to me on Sunday. That makes you feel better.
Well, Sunday, it doesn't matter. And we do have to listen to you because you'll be on the show Sunday.
No, that's what I'm saying. But like, I won't talk as much because.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe hit me up if you got an extra, know someone that's got an extra. I'm trying to get in the Lindsey Nelson. May have to weasel my way into a family ticket with Jorel after we get him on here.
There you go. Yeah. Maybe he can hook us up.
Exactly. You do have Georgia though. SEC East opponent, doesn't matter too much. You do have the SEC East locked up. Now, you're still trying to get that outright title, trying to be that number 1 seed in Hoover, trying to bounce back from a series win, whatever you want to call this series. It's a SEC series. It was a big series before the season started. Now that you're, oh gosh, what are you now? 40 or what's the record?
40. Is it
43-6? Now you're 43-6. You made history, but you're still chasing history, trying to set the tone going into postseason. This is your second to last SEC series.
That's crazy. The amount of wins. I can't even count that high anymore.
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. I'm not good at math. Yeah, this is a big weekend. I know Lindsey Nelson's gonna be packed. I'm kind of curious what tomorrow night looks like. Should be a good night for baseball, but it is a Thursday night. I do expect a sold-out crowd. I just don't know how long they'll be around, how rowdy they'll be. I don't know what we're drinking on Thursday nights in Lindsey Nelson, but it's a big weekend for this team. They did have a great game Saturday. That series finale avoided the sweep, and then obviously the Bellarmine win. You can't let last weekend creep into this weekend. Last weekend's behind you. Let it be a stumbling block. Don't let it be a wall. And because I think we talked about how like last year the nation's eyes kind of started peering to see slowly. This year they've been watching Tennessee, waiting for them to lose. Every loss that's been piled on. Go to Twitter, go to Reddit, whatever, piled on. Now again, all the eyes are on Tennessee this weekend to say, see, I told you they're not a postseason team. They can't win, they can't keep winning series like this. So I think this series is the one to bounce back and go, we can do this. And Georgia's a good team. And I know some people will still have that conversation about, oh, they're not that good compared to other SEC teams, blah, blah, blah. All that nonsense. But they are a good SEC team. They are a good baseball team. Yeah, their record isn't as good as Tennessee's or as Arkansas's, better than Kentucky's. So it's just a big weekend in a number of ways. And yeah, the nation's eyes will be on you and they will jump at the first chance at a loss. Like they're going to do it. So be the villains, put on the black and be the villains.
Yeah. I think this Thursday game is really big. And that's why you maybe saw Tennessee kind of switch it up, pitch Dolander on that Thursday, because Saturday, you got to go up against one of the best pitchers in probably the entire country, and Jonathan Cannon. So you go Chase Dolander on Thursday, Blades Hidwell on Friday. Saturday is undecided. It just seems like, and we talked about this on the bat flip a little bit, that it just seems like those two freshmen, their arms are getting tired. Dolander probably would fit in that same boat, but he got injured. He got that rest, and now he's back and ready to go. I think it would be beneficial to see one of those guys maybe get an off night, or if they want to pitch a couple innings in relief, maybe they do that. But I don't think you'll see any of them go. Whoever goes more than probably 5 innings, and then next week you probably get the same thing. Whereas the guy who doesn't play on Saturday will be back in the rotation, and that guy who pitched Saturday is probably resting.
Right. And you guys talked about this on the bat flip. Like, do they switch it up? Brutus, brother. Can you hear that?
Yeah, I heard it a little bit.
Golly, boy, itchy. You guys talked about it on the bat flip a little bit, but how do you switch up this rotation? Because it's not. You've had guys that have had off nights here or there, but it's not like Chase Burns hasn't done anything to lose Friday night, and I don't think that's what this is. Or lose the first game of the series Thursday night in this instance. I think it is just we've got 4 legitimate starters. You could almost argue 4 legit Friday night starters. I mean, all 4 of those guys would be in contention at just about every single SEC school.
Right.
They're that good. And so I think it's more of just let's rest some arms. You get Dolander back from injury, pitched well against Kentucky. Chase or Drew Beams probably a little tired. He's pitched well all season. Chase Burns kind of in that same category. I think this is just a rest factor game. And maybe I think there's got to be a little bit of intention trying to find your best rotation. Not that the rotation, it's obviously been phenomenal. You're 43-6.
Right.
You didn't lose an SEC series till this past weekend. But I think it could be, let's find what's going to work best for us in postseason. Is it going to be Blade leading it off? Is it going to be him on Saturday or the second game like it is this weekend? What is going to be I think that's what these next 2 weeks are going to do, is let's iron out what we're doing going into postseason. And it also allows you room to figure it out with injury too. If Chase Burns goes down, all right, are we moving Dole? I think it gives you that option. I like it. I think it's, like you said, rest is the biggest thing. But I also think you get to kind of play with things before going into Hoover and regionals.
Yeah, and with this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it kind of mixes it up a little bit. Like, you don't have, like, Chase Burns has pitched on Friday night every single series.
Right.
And this one he doesn't, because not only he would probably pitch Thursday anyway, but now he's not even in those Thursday or Friday. So it kind of gets you out of that routine maybe a little bit, which is like Tennessee wants to win the series, but hey, the goal here is to win a national championship, and you got the team to do it. So let's rest some of these guys a little bit if we have to, and get ready for postseason. You're hosting a regional. You're going to be a national seed, where if you win that regional, you'll host a super regional, and that's all that matters.
Oh, absolutely. And I do have a question about, as far as like ironing out, does Tennessee in these next 2 weeks try to find a long reliever? You mentioned rest, so maybe not this weekend, but do they have a guy back there in the bullpen that they like more than the other? So right now, your 2 guys that aren't officially starting right now, Drew Beam and Chase Burns. Is there a guy you have besides Camden that you have ready to come on in the second, third inning if things don't go right? Or do you think this weekend is legitimately all about rest?
I think it's got to be Ben Joyce.
You think he's their long reliever right now? Okay.
Other than Camden Sewell, you did say other than Camden Sewell, and I think
right. Yeah.
I think it's got to be Ben Joyce. The way he pitched against Auburn.
I agree. Yeah,
I
don't hate that. I love the thought of him coming in, tight ball game, big ball game, whatever it may be, and just shutting everything down.
Mm-hmm. Like, the fact that Tony Vitello used after that series that he could be a starter, that was
leans a little bit towards
it's like he can pitch more than 1 or 2 innings for sure,
and keep his velo. It's stupid. It's stupid.
Not fair.
Yeah, no, I think that's an interesting guy to bring in, especially when you've got a guy like Redmond that he could close out Thursday, Friday, and Saturday if he needed to. I mean,
Yeah.
the dude can. I mean, and shove it's not the right word. I mean, he just throws everything at you in the kitchen sink. I mean, good luck getting a hit on him. No, I don't hate that. I guess, and in postseason, 4 starters is probably more ideal. Anyways, like you said, your goal is a national championship. If you went into Omaha with 4 starting pitchers, I mean, how good do you feel about your chances versus everybody else?
Yeah, and another guy I kind of want to mention too is your midweek starter. Like you're not going to have those midweek games.
It's true.
Xander Sechrist can, throw a couple innings. He's
Yeah.
been a starter and pitched pretty well. That velos are around 90, 91. Will Mabry is another guy that can pitch multiple innings, and he's got that higher velo than some of those guys around. He's around 93, I think, is what he's hitting. So,
And I guess that's the better question. It's probably Will Mabry. I'm glad you brought that up. Your next reliever after Camden's probably Will Mabry because you do. I mean, and that's the hard thing. You don't want to sit on Ben Joyce too long because you don't want to get out of a game and have him in your bullpen. You don't want a game to get out of hand and then go, oh crap, we have Ben Joyce. But I mean, Will Mabry, he's come in relief and done phenomenal. I don't know the longest he's gone this year, but he's carried you through some. He's come in and did some early innings and carried you through quite a bit of the game. I don't know exactly what his longest outing is.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about the pitching at all, and I think it was really good against Bellarmine to get those bats going a little bit, hit a couple home runs, and it got tight there, in the middle of that game where they hit a 3-run home run and made it 5-4. But you have guys in your lineup like Drew Gilbert and Trey Lipscomb that can combine to go 6 for 10 with combined 6 RBIs in a game.
Yeah, the bats are
and you got a guy sitting on the bench, Blake Burke, who can come in and hit a freaking rocket off the back wall in dead center.
They're going to have to name that parking lot out in right field, right center for him. I mean, he's putting him in the middle of it.
Yeah, he's going to own it here in the next couple of years for sure.
Right. And I mean, and you said it, pitching's not the problem. I mean, there's not a problem on this team. That wasn't the right word.
And like you're looking at the matchup this weekend, Georgia, they have 2 guys hitting over 300. They have 1 guy that has double-digit home runs. Like they're not a huge, they can hit for base hits, but they're not like a huge offensive team. I think they're middle of the pack in runs in the SEC, but their pitching is really what gets them through. They got a really good reliever in Jaden Woods, who I think was a starter last year. They got Jonathan Cannon, who's one of the best pitchers in the country. Him and Blade Tidwell, that's going to be a fun matchup to watch for sure. And then Gowan, something like that. Gowan, I think, is the closer. I think he's got 10 saves on the year, which, is pretty insane when you think about it and look at their record. I think their pitching is definitely where their strength is. So that's my, I just want us to look better offensively than we did last week against Kentucky. And, I don't, just looking at the weather, I don't see it getting anywhere close to what it was in that crap all the town in Lexington.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be Lexington weather. So that's good to get a nice weekend on Rocky Top and good weather. And you talked about, Georgia's ability to get on base. Well, Tennessee's pitching is going to squash a lot of that. Now you do run into the issue of guys on base are almost guaranteed second, or however you want to say that. Guaranteed is probably a strong word, but you had 10 stolen bases last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what Kentucky score total?
10.
11?
10 runs?
11 runs? 10 runs?
Yeah, I think it was 12-10 was the final.
Okay. So it's like, it's not – you're talking about things that Tennessee can fix going into postseason. Obviously, you don't want that to be the case. That's not ideal to have a guy who walked in the second, pretty much.
Right.
But when you're able to kind of make up for it in other parts of the game, like you have a phenomenal pitching staff, it's almost like what we talked about. Sure, the pitchers could help Evan Russell a lot in that. But when they're not allowing guys on base, why would you want to switch up what they do?
Yeah. I think now it's just like, who cares? They're not scoring. We got the offense. If they do get a run across, we got the offense to, minimize that and cancel it out pretty easily. So I don't think, from what I've seen so far, it doesn't seem like it's bothering Tennessee that
100%.
Teams are able to run on them.
100%.
Keep them close. The infield's got to do a good job of keeping them, at least make them a little honest. And I think that's why we pick, at least attempt to pick off quite a bit. Just keep them close, keep them honest. Maybe catch somebody leaning. But yeah, I don't think it's a huge worry for Tennessee. I mean, it is what it is at this point.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to, like you said, you do just your best to keep them honest. It's kind of tough to really change what you do. And why would you want to change too much of what you do? I agree. There's probably things, everybody talks about things you could probably do to minimize it, but you've won 43 games. You've lost 6. Why would you want to change too much of what you do? The formula is working, and you're not going 43-6 in. It's hard to just pick out. I mean, the Sun Belt, who has good teams, so I feel bad for just throwing the Sun Belt under the bus. But it's not 43-6 in the Sun Belt. It's 43-6 in the best conference in college baseball.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with that.
Also want to point out that Georgia was picked to finish ahead of Tennessee in the SEC East at 3rd. So eat those words.
And I'm Jorel's gonna be hopping on here in a few minutes, so make sure you guys are in here. I do kind of want to get that take. Obviously, I think it was a hot take to have Tennessee where some people had Tennessee. Baseball America, I believe, was the one that had Tennessee at 34. This was obviously going to be a good team. It is interesting that this team is essentially all – is newcomers the right word? Like, there's not a lot of carryover from last year. Count Evan Russell, sure, but he's playing in an entirely different position. He didn't move from left to center. He's playing in an entirely different position. Your infield's pretty much all different except for, Luke Lipsius, who's about to retire. He's about to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He's that old. You didn't start the year with Blade Tidwell. So, yeah, I mean, it is a new team. So I'm not going to, completely hold it against everyone, like teams or rankings that had Tennessee at 16th and stuff like that. Whatever. It is what it is. 34 is absurd. I mean, you're just an idiot.
I mean, they doubted the former recruiter of the year in Tony Vitello. That's what happened.
Yeah.
You doubted the development. You doubted the recruiting.
Well, and it tells me another thing. All these people that want to grow the game of baseball, they don't watch midweek games.
No.
Because all these guys played well, in the early, when you were able to rotate in early seasons. Jorel was one guy. I think he had quite the weekend against Georgia Southern a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you saw it from guys. Again, pushing Tennessee back, from an Omaha appearance, I get it. That I understand. Some of the rankings were absurd. What was Tennessee predicted? 4th?
4th in the East.
In the East? That's absurd.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you do replace all your pitching. I get it to a certain extent, like you were saying earlier, but
4th, I don't get 4th. I don't get 34th. I don't get
doubt us that much.
Who in the, before we get Jorel on, who in the East? He should be coming on here in a minute. Who in the East would you have put in front of Tennessee? Maybe Vanderbilt and maybe Florida. So 3rd's the farthest back you should have gone.
But if you're going to go off the logic of what Tennessee lost, does Vanderbilt not get that same thing with
Agreed.
Leiter and Rocker?
100% agreed. And they didn't make it to Omaha with those guys.
Wait, what?
Vanderbilt didn't go to Omaha last year, right?
Yeah, they played in the national championship against Mississippi State. And
that's right. Who was I thinking played Mississippi State?
Arkansas did not make it to Omaha.
Arkansas didn't make it. Who was I thinking?
Vanderbilt
beat NC State. That's right. That was that team.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. Who was I thinking played them? I wasn't putting Vanderbilt in there. I don't know. Whatever. Doesn't matter.
You see our D1 Baseball projected our regional in Texas Tech was number 2. I looked at Oregon State's, and I know it's based off region.
Dumb. So dumb.
Come on.
I guess I get region to an extent. That's kind of how they do.
They get Grand
basketball
Canyon.
to an extent.
I know Grand Canyon's a top 25 team, but the Texas Tech and
9.
Grand Canyon, yeah.
No, it's first off, bring the top 4 teams in Knoxville for a regional.
Come on, yeah.
But second off, Of course. I mean, come on, we're
Right.
Tennessee. Of course.
I mean, we've talked to multiple people and how stupid it was that we got the ACC champion, we got Liberty, who probably should have been a 2 seed, and we got Wright State, who should have been a 3 seed. They were not.
Duke was like they got to the point, what were they on, like a 16-game win streak?
Yeah, it was insane. Yeah.
At that 16-game win streak, they were kind of at the point, like, we've got to win out. Not win out, but we've got to win a lot of games in the back half to make it into the tournament. Right.
Yeah.
Then
they got in. I don't know. I mean, the ACC championship is, and we were like, what, a 3? I think we're the number 3 overall seed.
I think
so. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Whatever. Hey, we won it. It doesn't matter.
No, not at all. And maybe Tennessee ends up with the
bring
same.
Them out. You got to beat the best teams to win the national championship anyway. So
exactly.
I'd rather play them here than in Omaha.
Fair point. Give us a short field. Give it to us. We'll hit it 400 feet over a 320 wall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I agree, and it's. I feel like you just get frustrated with it because it's almost like this doesn't happen to the number 1 seed ever, and now it does. So that's why it's frustrating. But I do agree with the sentiment of we're going to beat you whenever we play you, whether it in late May or early June. Like, we're going to beat you. So who cares? No, I'm excited for postseason. I'm pumped for Hoover. Sure. Pumped for Hoover. Hoover's always a fun week. So it's going to be real fun when you're the best team there.
Oh, yeah.
Let's
make a run. Why not?
Absolutely. Are we going to go ahead and predict Tennessee, not only your outright SEC champs, but also your Hoover champ?
Just predict that. You sweep this week, you're outright.
I think you have to win 4 right now to be outright.
No, assuming we're 4 games ahead.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. 4 games ahead. Yeah. If we sweep.
Yeah, that's right now. There you go. There you go. Let's do it. Let's celebrate an SEC championship
on Saturday
in Lindsey Nelson. I mean, I would love to do it on Mississippi State's home field. I would love for their fans to hand our players leftover food.
They'd fit like 20-something thousand.
Yeah, while we celebrate our SEC championship. They
get more at their baseball field than they do football games.
It's the cowbells. Do they have cowbells at football games? I'm sure they do.
They actually count cowbells. They don't actually count people.
And they all have 3. Minimum.
Yeah, right.
Also, if you're a Mississippi State fan, I'm okay if you go, hey, I like the cowbells because it's tradition. Can we just please recognize that it is universally the most annoying thing of all time?
Oh, for sure.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
100%.
I agree.
They do have great baseball outfield. Like, that's what I want Tennessee's outfield to be like. That would be fantastic.
It's a berm out there.
Well, they've got like it's essentially the porch, but it's a lot of porches. Like, it's all porches in the outfield. Also, I watched a video today. It was like a tour probably before like a high school scrimmage, something like that. And you got a sneak peek at the full renovations in there. So I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to, zoom in a little bit, see if I can really pick out some of the images. I know we've seen, I don't know if it's leaked the right word. We've seen some pictures of the outfield building that's supposed to be built where the porch is at. It looks fantastic. The renovations in Lindsey Nelson are just going to be beautiful. I can't wait. That's going to be a beautiful stadium.
Yeah, I saw a picture of it. It's gonna be nice.
It's gonna be so nice. You got to see the whole. See, I've seen
part of like a full. I guess if that makes sense. Like, I haven't seen like the whole thing, but I've seen a picture of what like one side's gonna look like.
Gotcha. Can't wait to get. Well, have they said what the expected capacity will be once?
No.
Okay. Are you? Did you buy? Is it tomorrow? Are you gonna buy a seat in Neyland?
Oh, it was today.
It was today. Did you get one?
$150? Hell no.
I know. I think I'm just gonna take mine with me.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I could just yank it off. Take a screwdriver in.
There you go.
Maybe I should just admit that I'm going to take a screwdriver in. But
they got a golf ball in. You can get that in.
That's true.
All right, guys, we've got a very special guest for you. Can't wait. Vol baseball player, Jorel Ortega. Jorel, how are you? Thanks. First off, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. I know we got a big weekend coming up. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you guys? Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Hey, you're having a fantastic season. I just want to shout that out real quick. Batting over 300, 11 bombs. I do want to ask you before I forget. You had your family there for the Florida series. Big group of Ortega lovers out there. What was that kind of like having your whole family there?
It was probably. It was probably the best weekend, honestly, out of this whole season. That was in my 3 years at Tennessee. That was the very first time my mom actually got to see me play since I've been in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So that was actually kind of cool. And then she also had family travel over from Puerto Rico to surprise me. I only knew about like half of the people that were gonna be there. But then when I come after the games, I go say hi to my parents that I usually do. There's like 35 other people waiting for me, and everything coming by surprise. But it was an amazing experience. It was probably honestly the best weekend so far.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's very cool. Also, I saw the Puerto Rico flag flying at the game.
They had the flag flying all game long. I would do anything. Was just run out there. They would start waving it. I come to hit and make a play or whatever. They would just start waving that flag around.
Yeah, that full Sammy Sosa moment where you run around the bases with it.
Probably not good as an American to say, but I'll do it. Puerto Rican flag is probably by far the greatest flag. It's fantastic.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Again, we're excited to have you guys on. We're excited for this weekend. Be back in Lindsey Nelson. Good to get away from. I know Lexington was probably cold. Probably not ideal. Not a good weekend all around, except for one thing. Got to see the black jerseys. Now we normally ask. We've not had a current player on, so congratulations. You're our first current player. Always ask the former. Is the black jersey your favorite, or you got another one out there that you like?
Oh, I don't know. The black jersey has definitely made the run for it. I think I'm still gonna take the creams that we wear on Sundays usually. I think those creams, they just fit perfect and stuff. So, but the black jerseys are probably like top two, honestly. They fit really nice. They're really they're not heavy at all whatsoever. Plus, they look good at night as well. So, they're definitely up there for sure.
What about model wise? Who's a better model, you or Chad Zerker?
Oh, I don't know. Chad Zerker did look good in those pictures. I'm not gonna lie. We all saw the pictures in the locker room and stuff. We all started going, "Oh my god, this guy throws BP to me and he's taking pictures." And, no, but I don't know. Chad did pretty good job. So props to him.
He got any eligibility left?
I do. I'm a junior on school, but on the field I'm only a sophomore. So technically, I still have 2 more years eligibility.
Okay, cool. So tell us kind of how you got with Tennessee. I know you're originally from Puerto Rico, played high school ball in Florida. So how did that kind of transition, and then kind of what was your recruiting process like?
No, absolutely. So I was born and raised in Puerto Rico, like you said. I did not move to Florida until when I was like 15 years old. I think I moved like a week before high school started for me. So I think I remember this. So high school for me started August 14th and August 7th, and I'm just getting to Florida for the first time ever. And so then that week I just need to get the school stuff. Just get it a whole new language barriers going on. I knew English, not as good as I know right now. I could hold a conversation, but it's a whole new world. I'm pretty much starting from zero, flying from scratch. And so I went to Lake Worth High School my first semester. Then the second semester I went to Santa Lucia's. And I remember that first year I played for Stealth Aces. That's one of the very first summer team that I played for. And I got recruited I had a pretty good summer that year. And then one of the coaches from there told me, "Hey, come to play for me in this high school," which was 20 minutes away from me. Come play with me and I will help you out, with this recruiting process and stuff. And so I went to the high school. It's named Spanish River, and that's when I transferred to Spanish River High School. And I was there since my sophomore year all the way to my senior year. And then the summer of sophomore year, that's when I had a kind of really, really huge summer for me. And I remember Coach Josh Elander, third base coach, he came down to see me down, I think it was Sarasota. It was in a big tournament called the Wilson Premier. I think I had a pretty good game in front of him. Then he started, recruiting me, talking to the other coaches and myself. And I think towards that summer, before my junior year started, that's when I committed to Tennessee. So that's how I ended up here.
And how did you have any other teams kind of looking at you, or is that kind of the first one?
Yeah, I had a couple teams. I mean, my very first offer came from Northern Kentucky, like a D1 mid-major. And I mean, it was like I said, so to be a sophomore and commit is kind of early. I mean, I had a lot of interest, not fully offers because, well, like I said, I was only a sophomore. But I mean, I think Tennessee. I mean, I came to visit Tennessee before I committed, and I mean, I fell in love with it like right away. I mean, and when I came to visit, the earth field was still dirt. We didn't have turf by then, so I mean, it was like pretty good, pretty dope. I mean, the fans even knew when I was a recruit. They came up to me. I mean, it was a very, very welcoming. So I mean, I fell in love with it right away. And I told the coaches, I mean, if you make the right offer, I mean, you're my number one right now. If you make the right offer, I commit, and said and done. So that's literally, I think, before my junior year started, I committed to Tennessee.
That's awesome.
So you committed early, obviously, you know, go through those visits and camps early. So you've seen the transition of the not just the baseball program, but the facilities. Obviously it's still quality facilities, but what has that upgrade been like seeing this program?
Oh, it's been amazing. I mean, it just shows, I mean, since our coach Tony Vatello has been there, I mean, it just shows, I mean, how much progress and how much impact he has had in the whole program since just step a foot in there. And I mean, we have guys, I mean, we have guys like Evan Russell that's been there since like day one. I mean, they know they've been through it and they know how much it means. You know, they've worked for every bit of it. So I think it just shows, you know, our steps, like how we're moving forward, and, you know, the quality of work that we do on and off the field. So I think it's pretty good. I think it's pretty dope, honestly.
Yeah, we made a joke that Evan Russell, Luke Lipsius, and Redmond, they're all part of that 1951 team, right?
I mean, Luke Lipsius definitely does look like it. I mean, he does look 40 out there. And Evan Russell is catching up. And Redmond, I think he has about 255 appearances in the SEC. So, no, that definitely, I mean, those guys are definitely one of a kind, but those guys, they definitely help us out, you know, because they've been through it. They know how things work and stuff. So their leadership definitely comes to play a lot.
So I like that you guys recognize Luke looks like a 40-year-old man. I've said it all year, probably his whole career. He's got the old man jog down perfect. He looks like
he does.
Maybe 2 kids.
No, Jordan Beck has the oldest man jog in the world, though.
He really does, and it's all like you say. He's Mac Honcho. He's 30. He just turned 36 years old. So no, but I mean, those two guys. I mean, we literally said the same thing. I mean, you guys got like an old man jog. Like, look, you look like you're about to die running to first base, and you're like 20 feet away from the bag. But you know, it's amazing. Like, those two guys, they're awesome to hang out with. They're funny, and it's always a good time with those two around.
So, you have roommates? Like, who's your roommates?
I got Ryan Miller and Will Mabry. Those are 2 of my roommates right now.
Will the Thrill, baby.
Oh yeah, that guy is something else right
now. Go ahead, Caleb.
Well, you just brought up the Mike Honcho, so nicknames. We had Chad Zerker on a couple weeks ago. I don't know if it's just his nickname for you or if it's stuck, but we've started tweeting it. Is it Joey from Tampa? Is that official? Is that we stamp it?
I have I think about 15 different nicknames here in Tennessee. I mean, I've been called Joey from Tampa, Joey from Florida, Joey from West Palm Beach, Joey from Venezuela. I mean, when I tell you they called me every single thing you can name it. I mean, but yeah, I think that's Chad. They always call me Joey, Joseph, but it's always from Tampa.
Joey from Tampa. I like it.
I think we're gonna start calling you Joey Bombs. So I
love it.
I like the Joey name.
Yeah.
They started going. I think actually, you know who's actually always giving out nicknames and it kind of just sticks around is Drew Gilbert. He started the Joey thing, and everybody just started calling me Joey. And then Chadwell added Joey from Tampa, and then other people added Joey from Florida. I'm like, I guess I have like 20 different nicknames that I respond to.
I said before you got on, I was like, we need to get this NIL deal going with Moe's, Joey Bag of Donuts.
Joey Bag of Donuts actually came from Sean Hunley. Shout out to him right now. That's
awesome.
But he came from he would call me Joey Cold Cuts, Joey Bag of Donuts, Joey Double. I mean, that's one of, like, by far, he's probably one of the funniest dudes I've ever played with, including Chad Dallas in that situation. But he's probably one of the top 2 funniest dudes I've ever met, for sure.
We've had Chad Dallas on the phone. He lives up to the hype. He is that.
Oh, no. That guy, if you're having a bad day, just I would just spend 1 hour with Chad Dallas. I promise you, you will forget about everything. I mean, you would just cry laughing with that dude. He's a character for sure.
So, SEC Player of the Week a couple weeks ago against that terrible Maroon team from down south. And you became a fan favorite in that series because when you have a huge part in beating the Crimson Tide, no matter what the sport, hey, Tennessee fans love you. So was there a little extra, momentum there, or what kind of was that
I mean, I'm just trying to build up from that. Obviously, when you have a good weekend, you're trying to build up from there. Take the good things what you did, and even learn from the bad things that you did that weekend. Because I mean, I didn't go perfect that weekend, so some just learn from it. Try to keep the same thing going over the whole season, which is, I mean, consistency probably will be the biggest thing here. Trying to do it for a whole season, including playoffs. So just trying to build up from there. When you have guys like Mike Honcho hitting behind you, and then you also have Jared Dickey, guy like Seth Stevenson hitting in front of you. He's pretty comfortable when you come up to him, and you got guys behind you that can get the job done as well. I mean, Beck also had a great weekend. He had like 3 bombs. I don't know which one went for the furthest. I swear, because that dude can hit the ball a mile. Because he puts on a show during practice. I mean, I think we run out of balls because of him. Like, no joke. I think we might run out of balls because of him.
Oh, man.
But I mean, just like I said, we just build up from that. Knowing that I have guys that can do the job the same, like just as good as I did that weekend, or even better. Just knowing that in the back of my mind actually helps a lot in the box.
So you're saying the delay in the stadium is because of Jordan Beck, and we got to pay for new balls. That's why we can't get a new stadium.
Oh, 100%. I mean, that dude hits the ball like it's his job. I mean, that dude is just playing pepper with the scoreboard, and the batters are like, that's what he's getting paid for, which probably will. But I mean, it's insane. Watching him hit BP is like, dude, what's going on? Like, he makes you not want to hit.
Absolutely.
Because he's just putting on a show. Everybody's looking at him, and then I come hit, and I hit my doubles, my singles, but nah, he's hitting every ball out of the field. I'm like, okay, that's just
makes you feel bad.
There's a lot of power on this team. You certainly don't lack it. Beck is, I mean, Burke hit one a mile Tuesday night.
Jesus Christ, that dude! Oh my God! I mean, he's a freshman, but he's not built like it. Tell you that right now. I mean, that guy. Oh my God, he's only a freshman, but the fact that he's doing that right now as a freshman, I mean, it just shows, I mean, how mature he can be. And he'll probably hit 25 his junior year, if not 30. I mean, he has the potential to do that. And he can go pull side, backside. He can go wherever he wants. I mean, that guy is definitely going to play big. And if he continues to do what he's doing, he's going to have to play this game for a long time. So he's a freshman, but he's not feel like it. I think he's the next Mike Honcho. He might be 45 saying he's 19.
This offseason was obviously a big one for you, and kind of you're one of those guys that just waited your turn. What was that like, being on that team last year, being as good as it was, and then really getting your opportunity this year?
I mean, just like we had guys like Max Ferguson, Liam Spence, and then Jake Rucker, and we got 3 All-Americans right there. And obviously it was a pretty tough situation for me to start, but I didn't take it as that. I just learned from him. Max Ferguson is a great player. I love that guy to death. And right now, by the way, if you all don't know this, he's leading the minors right now in stolen bases with like almost 30 already.
Nice.
Yeah, no, he's absolutely going nuts right now. But just learning from guys like that, because they've been through the league a couple of times, so they obviously have that maturity over me and stuff, and just learn from them. I mean, especially Jake Rucker, probably one of the most consistent hitters I've seen. I mean, he had a great career at Tennessee. Liam Spence, you cannot hit the ball to him. I mean, he's automatic out. And Max Ferguson could just all around do it all. So just take pieces from those guys and just learn and, use them for your advantage, obviously. Because they've been through it. They know how things go. And also you got guys like our coaching staff that have been through it as well. And we have a great coaching staff. So it just, waiting, not even waiting in turn, just, be patient and, just learn. The more you learn, the better things are for you, obviously. So that's what I just did, just kept my head up, kept working and stuff, just waited for my turn.
Was there like a few things in this offseason that you really wanted to work on or hone in on for this upcoming season?
Honestly, I was just wanted to, if I have to choose one, I would say probably like defensively where I can play. Cause we had a bunch of open spots. We lost Ferguson, Liam, and Jake Rucker. So pretty much the whole infield was open. And by at one point we didn't even look if Luke was coming back. So we pretty much had the whole infield open. So obviously, I know how to play the whole infield, but I would just find a spot where I can help the team the most. Honestly, you could put me to be the water boy, and I'll do it. I'm my best of the abilities. But so I was just trying to be the best at a position that I know I can provide for this team and help this team win. Whether it's my bat, my defense, whatever it comes to. So I was just trying to work on everything, being like an all-around player, pretty much.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the theme of this team. Just do the best wherever you're put. I feel like you hear that a lot from this team.
Absolutely. No, yeah, it's something you preach. Just when you get your number called, that's what you work for. So there's no need to put more pressure while you're doing it. That's what you work for. That's why we go to the field 24/7. We go to the field all the time. That's what you work. So just enjoy it and have fun with it. Let it happen. Do your thing. You're obviously playing SEC baseball because people coaches think you're good. You have the things to do it. So just be yourself.
Yeah, I do want to talk about this year specifically. We always ask what their favorite moment, is, and we go back to last year if you want to, but I do want to stick with this year first. What was your favorite moment so far this season? Was it maybe the grand salami against Auburn or the walk-off against James Madison?
I think probably right now probably the grand slam. Honestly, that dude throwing the mound. Hopefully he's okay. I know he was kind of hurting his hamstring, but that dude was absolutely nasty. He was 95, 90, 96 with a fastball, and he had a cutter that moved about 35 inches, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, how do you hit that? So I probably honestly that grand slam. Honestly, as soon as I hit it, I knew I got a good piece on it. I did not think it was gonna go. But I kept on seeing Cortland in second base just celebrating right away when out, so I just went nuts. I honestly don't even remember. I think it was a cutter. I honestly blacked out as soon as I hit it and I started celebrating, rounding the bases. But I think I'm gonna take the grand slam for sure.
I think one of my favorite bat flips of all time is yours against Georgia Southern, where you just throw the bat down. You don't even flip it. You just throw it down.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a message because that weekend was because that was like the very first weekend that we started the year. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't say I took it personal, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna make my presence known this weekend. Like I'm here, and that was just one of those moments when I knew I had it, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this. Pretty much what it was.
And that carried over from last season too, because there was some drama in that season against Georgia Southern last season.
Oh yeah, they're a good team. They're a very, very scrappy team. They're not a bad team at all. So it just shows. They were always trying to. They're the type of team where you cannot poke the bear, especially us, a team like us. We love when people start running, talking to us and stuff. We that just fuels us and stuff. In that situation, it kind of worked in our way, and I was able to put a good swing on it. I was like, I'm gonna let them know that I'm here.
Fantastic. Yeah, so going back to, you talked about you being a newcomer, or I guess newcomer is not the right word. We tried to decide a new starter. Mm-hmm. You go to Omaha last year. You replace pretty much the entire infield. You've got a guy behind the plate that hadn't played it since high school. I'm sure you guys had the mindset of being better, getting back to Omaha in the off season. At what point in the regular season did you guys realize, hey, this team might be better than that really, really good team last year? Was it kind of a realization, or were you guys head down kind of grinding before you even realized it?
I knew we had the talent. I knew we had more talent than we did last year. When it came to our bullpen and infielders, not infielders, position players, I knew we had more talent. When I found out that we were better than last year, I'm probably going to say that I'm gonna say Houston, Texas. That was my one. Because we played some. I'm not saying we didn't play really good competition before, but that's when we played top dogs from different conferences and stuff like Texas, Baylor, and Oklahoma. And we had guys our pitching staff is literally 3 freshmen, pretty much 2 freshmen and a sophomore. We don't even have a guy that's draft eligible on the mound starting for us. And they're freshmen that throw the ball that are 25-year-olds knowing what they're doing throwing the big leagues. We got Chase Burns. That dude, I don't even know how you hit that. I don't even want to talk about Don there. That dude is just a freak in the mound. And Drew Bean is when I come at you, be everything he has. Let's see if you can hit it. When you have guys like that, they can on the mound, and then you got a bullpen Will maybe doing his job. Kirby Connell that has been through it. We got Cy Joyce throwing the ball 110 of 110. it just it helps you a lot. And then you got guys, and on the offensive side where we have so much depth. I mean, we got guys we can start. So we got guys like, let's say Burke hasn't started many games this year, but if you look at his number, he's hitting 370 with 7 as a freshman. Like, there are guys that are putting up numbers, and they're because there's only 9 spots in the field they can't play, and so it just shows our depth, on and off, and like when it comes to bullpen and offensive side. And I think that's when I realized, I mean, like we're really good. I think honestly, like better than last year's team.
Absolutely. Hey, I do want to ask you real quick. Best besides your own, because this is what when we got the text that you're coming on, I was like, he's got the best walkout song on the team. Bandoleros is definitely the best one. There's no denying that. Who's your second favorite walkout song on the team?
On the team? Ooh, that is tough. You are gonna put me in the spot like that? I don't know. Okay, so.
And did you get Bandoleros from Fast and Furious?
I did, but I'm also a big fan of Don Omar, which is the guy that sings it.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of him. So, but every time I hear like hear my walk-up song, I think of the Fast and Furious songs too, those movies as well. Okay, everybody reminds me of it. But my favorite walk-up song. Oh, okay. I'm gonna give you. I got Trey, Drew Gilbert, Ethan Payne. I like Ethan Payne a lot, and Jordan Beck.
Okay.
Jordan Beck with the that's the old school one. I really like that. It just fits him. I know it's like big, heavy. I mean, it just fits him. Drew Gilbert. I mean, he could walk up to a freaking church song and probably make it look good, honestly. Ethan Payne, he just his swagger with Payne. These are pretty. That's tough. I think. I don't know, man. I think Trey Lipscomb, Jordan Beck, and Drew Gilbert. I think I'm gonna go with Drew Gilbert. I'll give it to Drew.
Okay. I was gonna say you can maybe add in Trey Lipscomb's strut to the plate as.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, that's his show. When it comes to hitting in the box, that's his show, and there's nothing you can do about it.
I've got a few more questions. I got someone did ask on here, and I think you all have I think it's a bunch of y'all that have the celebration. What's the second base when you guys hit a double? What's the celebration?
So my celebration, I do it's like a TikTok dance that I saw, and everybody started doing it, so I kept on doing it. But what they call it the Baby Jean. That's the name that we came. Like Drew Gilbert came up. Drew Gilbert came up with that celebration. I mean, we literally don't know what the meaning of it is. He just did it one time in the locker room, and then the whole team just started to follow. I mean, that's literally what it like. There's no meaning behind it. He didn't see it in the movie. He literally just came up with it and just called it his own move, and everybody just kept on following. I mean, when it comes to like setting trends, you can just go to Drew Gilbert and he'll start one for sure.
Well, he made his own T-shirt last year that said pay the third assistant or something like that for Kivett.
Oh yeah, it did. Yes, it did. Yes, it was fun. It was hilarious when it. I'm like, I mean, I would expect that from him. That dude is amazing. That dude is funny. He is a character for sure.
And then I've got the favorite SEC park. I love asking this. Or favorite ballpark you've been to. I am going to take out Minute Maid. I feel like that's probably wins it. Playing in a major park.
Okay. SEC park.
We'll scratch like that out. Year, yeah. Or
like this year.
I mean, yeah. Oh, just any that you've played in your career or been to.
Oh. So we went to Florida. I mean, I haven't been to Mississippi State. Because I heard Mississippi State was a pretty good one. But so far that I've been to, I'm gonna go with I think Florida takes that one.
Okay.
Because Florida, it's a brand new field, 2 years. I mean, and then it honestly has the best infield surface in like I've ever even played on. Honestly, I could take ground balls on that field any day of the week. It was a really nice field. It was only 2 years old. I mean, while we were there, that's when they just recently named the field as well. So I think I might give it to Florida this year.
Joey from Gainesville. That's the new one.
Yeah. I've heard that one before, too. Joey from Gainesville. I think Drew Gilbert came out, joined from Sarasota. I don't even know what he came up with that one, but that dude can come up with anything.
That's hilarious.
And then since you're on the pod the night before you guys, take on Georgia, can more important issues go ahead and claim that the next Joey bomb is for more important issues? Can that be out there? You might hit them for your mom. I don't know. Can we claim it though? Can that be?
Yeah, you can claim it. Yeah, I'll claim it. I'll make sure my girlfriend doesn't hear that because she wants to claim all of them. But you can claim that one for sure though.
Awesome. Yeah, if you hear Joey Bag of Donuts in the stand,
to make sure it's for you guys.
All right, appreciate it.
Perfect.
If you hear Joey Bag of Donuts in the stands, you know who it's from.
Perfect.
All right, well, that's all I got. Caleb, you got any more?
No, that's all my questions. I do appreciate you hopping on though. I like it. Oh, actually, I'm gonna text Chad about this. I'm gonna float the idea out there. Have y'all tried the black jerseys with the pinstripe pants yet?
No, we have not.
Chicago White Sox.
We have not.
Maybe put it on the mannequin. Just see how y'all like it.
See how it looks.
I think it was a good look, honestly. I mean, black goes with everything, so I think it'll be a good look.
What did you do when Drew Gilbert hit that walk off at Wright State?
Oh my God! I think I've never heard Lindsey Nelson Stadium be so loud in my life. I mean, as soon as they hit the ball, I didn't know if it to jump, scream, cry. I mean, so many emotions went through my body at the same time because, I mean, I did not know what to do. That dude, I mean, as soon as the ball left the bat, I'm like, this dude just did not just do that. He just hit a grand slam to win the game. But it was probably it was probably the craziest moment so far in my 3 years here for sure. It was, I mean, I didn't even know what to do. I know Coach B started taking off running towards the bullpen. I don't know where he ended up. And then you see Jordan Beck, and we got hopping the fence. I think two guys trying to hop the fence just absolutely fail and just hit the ground straight on the face. I mean, it was chaos when he hit it. It was chaos.
Oh, that's awesome. No one had any regard to where the bat ended up.
Oh, I think honestly that he's using a different bat is because that bat still has not landed. That's why. That bat is still going. That bat has not landed.
We'll have a ceremony for that bat, a little rip in peace for
yes. I mean, there's definitely you will never see that bat again. And because through that, I think he threw it farther than what the ball went.
Yeah.
Literally.
Well, Jorel, we really appreciate you hopping on, and good luck this weekend. Good luck the rest of the season, and hey, we'll do this again sometime.
No, absolutely, man. More than welcome. Just let me know, guys. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, have a good one.
Thanks. Thank you.
Have a good one, guys.
Good luck. That was Vols infielder, Jorel Ortega. Appreciate Joey hopping on. Joey Tampa. What do you get? Joey Sarasota. Joey Florida.
Gainesville. Joey Bag of Donuts.
I love it. Chad told us Chad warned us that he was gonna be a great time.
Yeah.
So like I said, we appreciate that entire program. Been great to us. And next Jorel bomb is ours. We got it claimed.
Yeah.
Make sure we took care of that.
When it's a walk,
maybe next time
there you go.
Oh gosh. Next time he's on, we'll work out a celebration so that we know, like everyone knows it's ours. Good God. I keep hitting that. So that everyone knows it's ours. I'm great. I'm fired up. Jorel has the best energy of all time. I probably should have. I hope he hears that. Like, just gets me.
I want to do a round table one day where we just have a whole bunch of these guys, like Chad Dallas.
I won't say a word. I know they'll be able to just.
Hey, Kivit can hop in here. Zerk. It would be just be a big family reunion. That's what we'll do.
More important issues, family reunion.
Just let them roast each other for an hour and a half.
Oh God, I might need to turn my camera off so they forget I'm in there. I might catch a stray. I don't want to. Yeah, they seem like they can cut it up.
Friendly
fire. I want to try that. No, I'm really fired. I was already fired up for this weekend. I'm even more fired up for it now. Gonna be a good time in Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Let's make it loud again. Let's make it nasty.
Yeah, Thursday at 7. They didn't make it 9 o'clock like basketball, so that's great. Appreciate it.
It's on a Wednesday night,
Yeah, well, and the games are a lot longer in baseball, so maybe that's why. But you get that Thursday at 7, Friday at 5:30, and then Saturday at 1. Should be a lot of fun. Man, let's get some NIL talk.
Yeah, and I mentioned it. The article I read, and I may not have read the right one. I think it was an ESPN article. It kind of seems like the NCAA just said, we're not changing anything. We're just going to enforce it now, which is.
Well, yes, but are they just like trying to make somebody happy? Because that's what I got from reading these guidelines. It's like, yeah, we got a lot of complaints, so we're like trying to do our due diligence, but there's no way we can prove anything. There's no way the NCAA wants to go to war with all of these, because Spire isn't a booster ran
Right.
They're an actual business. So do they want to go to war with a bunch of businesses? I don't think so. I think schools kind of lay down to the NCAA sometimes. You're seeing the backlash from that. But with businesses, I think businesses will tell them to, hey, go screw yourself. I mean, like they're not going to lay down for that.
Right. And where, the lawyer that was kind of responsible for the NIL already said, you want to go back to court over this, NCAA, we'll do it. Like, we're going to get you for antitrust laws. No problem.
Yeah. It's like they're okay with getting sued. That doesn't make any sense to me.
The spirit of the rule, and I think it's good. Now, how you implement it's a totally different story where, like, and listen, this could totally shaft Tennessee. So I understand it when I say this. I don't think that Spire or a booster should be able to pay Nico or any recruit and say, hey, we're going to give you this money. You have to come to Tennessee. I think you can pay it to him and like you can sponsor him as an individual and hope they come to Tennessee. Like, hey, don't forget where this money's coming from.
Yeah.
You won't get it. You won't get this money anywhere else. Or you can, I mean, I don't think it should be wrong to say, hey, if you come to Tennessee, here's what's waiting on you. But in terms of like keeping the options open for athletes, that's the issue I have with recruiting of old, where you signed your NLI, not NIL, NLI, National Letter of Intent, and you were locked into that even if you didn't get on the campus. Come on. We're talking about 18-year-old kids. Or you get to a place and a coach leaves, and if you leave, you have to sit out a year. Like, come on.
Yeah.
There should be more, and I think there should be rules to protect all parties involved there. Like, I like the one transfer rule free, and then any other you have to sit out. I like that rule. But as far as offering a 16-year-old kid $100,000 and saying you have to come to this school, and then that opens up them to lawsuits, et cetera, like that, I do have a problem with that. And I think that does need to be enforced. Now, flip of that, I don't think it should be illegal for a booster to say, hey, if you come here, my company's going to sponsor you. This is the deal. Like, and then the NCAA is like, it shouldn't be a pay to play model. What world are you living in? Of course it's pay to play. If you play well, we're going to pay you money. I'm not going to pay big bucks to a dude sitting on a bench that no one sees on the field. And hey, good on those guys. Good on those guys if they are on the bench and still go out and get NIL deals. It's there for them too. But what world are we living in that everyone's going to get the same amount of money? Well, like, what company do you work for that you get paid the exact same as the dude in the hire office or the dude working the warehouse floor? Come on. What world do you live in?
No, I agree. And I'm the same way with like, hey, you can't pay players. Like, that's been happening for 30 years.
Well, yeah.
It just seems like now the NCAA is like, oh, you can't do that. Or here's these guidelines where we could have put them out 10 months ago, but we didn't until it was, we saw some flaws and then we had to.
People are catching up to Nick Saban and Kirby Smart and they don't like it. That's
exactly.
That's it.
That's exactly what it is.
That's all it is.
They're the ones complaining. They're the ones who have the national championship. They're the ones that get all these 5 stars. Hey, Tennessee, USC, they start landing some 5 stars. Hey, guys, we got to do something with this. Okay? We can't
and here's the difference.
Tennessee land a 5-star quarterback.
Yeah, Nick Saban and Kirby Smart know good and well what it takes to build an NCAA program how you used to. And I'm not saying they didn't pay players. Come on, I know I've seen what they drive, but they knew what it took. You still had to legitimately go out there. You had to have a good year to get the good recruits, and then you had to have another good year, and you had to get those guys in the NFL. And that had to. I mean, it took years and years and years to build a program, and it's still going to take years. But the difference is you can get a leg up if you have money. And even as a Tennessee fan, and I know Tennessee has a lot of money, I know that Florida still has, a lot of money too. I know Alabama and Georgia, LSU, like I know all these schools, A&M have money. But so why does it matter? Like, I just don't understand why it matters. And maybe, listen, I'll even give Nick Saban the benefit of the doubt. There needs to be it needs to be ensured that the athletes aren't being taken advantage of. That needs to be ensured. But the NCAA is already doing that.
But it should have been 10 months ago when this actually
it should have been happened. 10 years ago.
Right. But when they were like, yeah, you can pay athletes now, there was no guidelines.
Well, there was always the booster can't be a part of it.
Right, but it was pretty much a free for all until, oh, this kid's got $8 million. Oh my God, we're not getting that money, so
Right.
we got to do something.
Well, and here's my issue too with the NIL collectives. The school can't have anything to do with the collectives. What do you have over them, NCAA? Are you going to tell Nico? I'm not going to try to say his last name. Are you going to tell him he's ineligible because he accepted? Yeah, exactly. He's ineligible because he accepted money in high school because Spire is in Knoxville. Good luck in that lawsuit because you're going to lose 100 times out of 100. You're going to lose,
and he
so
can get paid in the state of California.
I hope this is a new era at Tennessee. I hope we don't self-investigate. I hope we tell them to go themselves and we Cam Newton the hell out of them and we play him. And until you by force, you better have whatever police force the NCAA has in Tennessee's locker room, ready to Jameis Winston him and make him change. If you're going to keep him off the field, this is my open letter to Josh Heupel, Eric Ainge style. Play him and play anyone else.
Yeah.
F the NCAA, make them do something because they can't.
They don't have any control. They have no authority anymore.
Win national championships, win Heismans. Tell them they can take the effing trophies. We know who won. Did Reggie Bush win a Heisman?
Yeah.
Thank you. Did Nick Saban win those 30-something games he didn't even have to forfeit them. He had to take away the wins early at Alabama. Yeah, he still won those games.
No, he didn't.
Like, who cares? Screw the NCAA. This is just nothing. This is a nothing burger. The NCAA is a bunch of frauds.
I love that they came out with these guidelines like this week, and it was like anybody who they're going to investigate ones that are breaking these. You're going to go back? You can't go back.
Knock on the front doors of Anderson Training Facility, and I hope Josh Heupel will stand there, double burden them, maybe even moon them, tell them to F off. This ain't your territory.
Cheek spread, kiss it right in the hole.
Our lawyers are not cooperating with NCAA anymore. Do it, Danny White. If you're a Tennessee guy through and through, be a villain, put on the black hat, and let's go to war with the NCAA. We're going to win national championships in baseball and in football. And we're going to piss people off while doing it. That's what I want to do. That's the thing too. People, and listen, I know Tennessee fans can be obnoxious. Like I am an obnoxious Tennessee fan. I get it. For all the people that are like, well, their fans are terrible, blah, blah, blah. We've been getting the crap from everybody in every sport possible for decades. We're going on decades of it. Plural. I don't care what it takes to win. I do not care. Go win. The NCAA has no power. The Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, who conveniently plays in the highest court in the land. Did you know about that, by the way? I'll come back to that. Okay. Said you were nothing. Screw them. Get those lawyers out of your facility, Tennessee. Quit cooperating. Quit paying the lawyers to investigate Jeremy Pruitt if you still are.
Change the law.
Haven't heard that in a while. Yeah, like screw them. Burn everything. Who cares? If we have to fire Lane Kiffin and start burning papers, do it. I don't care.
Here's my whole thing. I feel like they just put that out to make people happy. Cool. Hey, if you did that, cool. I appreciate it. But if you're going to actually sit here and say that, hey, y'all shouldn't be, y'all can't pay players when it's been happening forever. When Alabama goes out and gets the 3 best transfers in the country, how about you do a little investigating on that? How about you do an investigating of people recruiting on current rosters? That's
Kansas,
where
Kansas just won a national championship. Kansas just won a national championship.
Yeah, exactly.
They're currently being investigated by the NCAA. And they just won a national championship, and they gladly handed them the trophy. Who cares?
Right. But that's my thing. Like the Jordan Addison thing. He has a deal waiting on him at USC if he chooses them out of the transfer portal. I mean, that's crap. Like you can't.
Who is it though? Is it their collective or is it the school offering it, or is it a booster? Because if it's someone else besides the school, by all means.
Apparently, he wasn't even in the portal yet. Is the issue?
Okay, listen, that I would love to get mad about that, but it's like even the NBA, who has no tampering policies, like LeBron James hadn't built these rosters waiting for guys to hit free agency.
Oh yeah.
I mean, how do you truly investigate that? Are you gonna start pulling phone records? Or what about vacation records? Are you gonna mic up the banana boat?
You could.
But he Chris Paul's wearing a wiretap.
Don't anybody put hands on Chris Paul's family. How about that?
That is pretty effed up. I'll be honest.
I don't even know what happened. Like, I want to know more of what happened. Like, what does putting hands on somebody mean?
Yeah, I don't know either. And apparently it was the mother. Seems like
Mother's Day. I mean, was he just telling her Happy Mother's Day and pat her on the back? Like, I mean, what actually? This is like a 17-year-old kid. What did he actually do?
Oh,
he was with his mom. He was with his mom, so it's not like he was hammered and like.
Well, we don't know that,
right? But like, it's not like he was just. I don't know. He wasn't being. It doesn't look like he was being overly obnoxious, or his mom probably would have said something. Any good parent probably would have said something.
Like I just did to Brutus. I didn't even say anything. I just gave him the eyes. He knew.
Yeah.
He knew. Cut that out.
Yeah. I need to know more about that, but
that's fair. Yeah, I probably should read before I cast any.
Yeah. Whatever. Tennessee's. Hey, let's keep dominating that.
Let's get some dubs.
NIL.
Yeah.
I mean, we got the best collective in the country. People want to get mad about it. Hey.
For sure. I'm going to go back to let's skip realignments. We had Jorel on maybe for longer than we planned. It's all good. Loved it. I mean, he could have had the whole show if he wanted. We'll go to conference realignments later. We're an hour 10 in. I do want to, so the Supreme Court, highest court in the land, they have a basketball court above their judicial court, and they call it the highest court in the land. So you may have some hoopers.
No, you got a bunch of Michael Scotts up there is what you got.
Dude,
or some Stanleys.
Dude, you don't know about Ruth. She was cold from deep. You think Steph could shoot? Get out of here.
No way.
She wasn't known for her judging. I know that. Yeah, that's so that's a little fun tidbit. I actually don't know if that's true. I've just always read that. You fake news. You can't trust them.
I got to see it to believe
it. Take me and Landon. Your 3 best judges against me and Landon. 3-on-2. Well, we get to bring someone too. And we're friends with
Jorel Ortega.
I've got Chris Lofton's number. So. Oh, man. Do you have a stupidity? I prepared for fail. So let me dig through here and get a stupidity. I'm an idiot. I get my days confused.
I got one, and it's it was actually like it benefited my team, but I'm still going to call it a fail because I'm a big sports fan and I think sports should be fair. Toronto Blue Jays, their pitcher, Yimi Garcia, got tossed he hit a batter. And apparently it's a thing where like somebody hits a home run, they beam the next person. I don't really get that. I don't know if that's actually true. The guy like wasn't throwing a fit or anything. Guy gets hit, he goes to first base. There was some jawing a little bit like between the dugouts, but then they just randomly just tossed the pitcher. And then they get livid.
Again, I need to see it. Like the ones where they go, like when you throw behind a guy after a home run, I'm probably tossing you.
I mean, he hits him in the arm. Like it.
Okay. So yeah, if you're throwing that, see again, I need to see the actions. Like I said, if you're throwing at a dude's head right after a home run,
the umpire walks past the pitcher and then tosses him. Like it was such a late toss. That's what.
Dude,
I didn't understand.
I rewatched the Jeffrey Macias, how do you say his name? Stuff from
God, you're gonna off. We should have asked Jorel
from Houston, or not from Houston, from Omaha. I rewatched that today. Dude, it just makes me so mad. I'm gonna vent for a second. And I had this argument with refs all the time when I coached. They tossed because he was from the third base dugout. Jeff at home plate didn't hear it. He tossed Kivett for being visibly upset with a call. So you're telling me I can't be upset with a call now? Not that like, okay, you want to tell me I can't argue balls and strikes. Okay, I get it. But I can't be upset. Like he apparently slammed his clipboard down on the dugout railing or hit the dugout railing, whatever it may be. You're telling me I can't be visibly upset.
Yeah,
that was my favorite. That was my favorite thing. I'd be talking to a ref and he just wouldn't listen to me, and then I'd put my head down, and they would, are you done, coach? I'm done talking. I'm not done being upset, and you can't tell me I can't be upset.
Right?
That's dumb. That's not a ref.
Churlish.
Refs make me so mad. I never once told a ref anything mean about his mama or how bad of a ref he was or anything like that. And they
Maybe you
hated me.
should, Caleb.
No, really. Dude, I've heard some coaches and players say some terrible things to officials and nothing. And I'll say one word, just about a call. And that's where they draw the line.
It's your delivery.
It must be.
It must be. I have
told
thought about saying something.
I've told a ref how bad he was one time. Dude, we had this is an adult league game. We had a player literally tell the ref to give him a red card, and the ref did. And I said, what'd he do? He goes, he told me to give him a red card. I said, show me in the rules where you just get to hand out red cards all you want. Because now we're down a man. It's 95 degrees on turf. Because you wanted to give a guy that wanted a red card. He didn't cuss at him. He didn't say anything mean about his mama. He goes, give me a red. And he did. I lost my mind on him. I said, show me in the rule book where you get that discretion. There are discretionary calls. That's not a discretionary
Was it
call.
Dylan?
No, it wasn't Dylan.
Damn it.
Although Dylan, if I get to speak at his wedding, I am going to tell the story about how he got yellow carded before he even got his cleats on one time. That one was that I lost my mind on Dylan that day.
You also should tell a story about LSU.
Nah, you got to keep it family friendly, Landon. Got to keep it family friendly. That is not the same thing.
All right.
It's not. It's not.
I mean, there was nothing like wrong.
But you got to lead off the story with how messed up he was. Otherwise, the story doesn't make sense.
That's his fault.
family friendly content around here. This is a family show until after 10, and we're moving on.
Yeah,
so
we're getting to it.
Not more important issues after dark yet. If you guys want to stick around for more important issues after dark, we'll be on Twitch.
Yeah,
you can come see it there.
Weird.
Things do get weird on Twitch. Oh, I don't have a stupidity except for, dude, like every guy on Twitter, especially guys that don't have burners, bonk. Be smarter. These old men with like professional headshots just being horny. Like, get out of here.
Just being horny.
Every girl posts a picture and he's like the ones that are like, thank you. I'm like, what are you thanking her for? Good God.
Yeah, that's weird. I can't. I don't even get it. It's like, dude, your bio says married with 3 kids. Like, really?
Love Christ. 3 kids.
Yeah, really?
The wife's the love of my life. Golly. Did we talk about the Madison Bumgarner hand check with the umpire?
We talked about
Just
that,
pet.
I think
so. Sunday.
Yeah.
Just petting his hand.
Yeah, it's weird. That's all I got.
That's it for me too.
It
fun. It was a lot of fun. Dude, I meant to ask Jorel. I forgot. I wanted to see if he could hit more doubles than me because I had 62, I think, in my last MLB season. So, I mean, come on. I batted like 524.
Yeah. That number 12 bomb, that's for us.
I can't wait.
Can't wait.
I'm going to tweet it. I mean, I have video proof that it's for me.
I love that he's okay with us calling him Joe from Tampa. He just like everybody calls me Joe from somewhere. So.
Joey from somewhere. Joey from Moe's.
Yeah.
That queso's for him.
Yeah.
Let's get 3 rounds of queso this weekend. What do you say?
Let's do it.
I mean, you're gonna get it.
You're
gonna get some tomorrow. I haven't either. I just like saying it. I love queso.
Yeah.
I love queso.
It's just getting on the strip. It's just so inconvenient.
That's a stupidity for me. I didn't know queso just meant cheese in Spanish. I thought queso was a type of cheese.
All right, that's it.
I didn't take Spanish class.
Oh, you did? You took French.
Oh, yeah. Je m'appelle Caleb. F yeah, I did. Just sweet in Knoxville, biatch.
Hey, yo. It is getting close to 10. Caleb's getting weird.
I'm sorry. I was scrolling through. Do you remember that picture I sent, that screenshot when I said just bonk on all those dudes? That screenshot I sent you all, and I was like, what is this?
I hate people online.
Oh,
it makes me like I see some of that and I want to delete Twitter.
Oh yeah. Oh well, that's when you use the block button or like the mute button. It's like I don't ever want to see that guy again.
No, absolutely.
But no, it's been fun, guys. Appreciate Jorel hopping on. Shout out to Vol Baseball. This is Vol Baseball Podcast. Tomorrow night, Georgia, 7 p.m. First pitch.
Yep, I'll be there. Chanting Joey from somewhere, for sure. Guys, that's all we got. Thanks for listening. We're bringing the boat in, and we out.